Now we'll focus on the battle for Tripura throughout the day. The road to 2024 elections has begun with Tripura. Tripura goes to polls today, and the voting has already started in 7 a.m. at 7 a.m. and it's a triangular contest where the ruling BJP is hoping to win big in the 60-seat election. My colleague Ankit Tyagi now also joining us from Agartala. Over to you, Ankit.
Well, thank you, Priyanshi. Let me first show you these visuals of the Chief Minister, the man whose seat and job is on the line as these elections are taking place. The Chief Minister coming here to cast his vote. We'll try also and get you a sense, in fact, of what the Chief Minister, how confident is he today when the voting in Tripura has started. As you said, this is going to kickstart a long election season in 2023, starting with Tripura, and of course the focus right now Northeast, where the BJP is hoping that they would be able to consolidate on the gains that were made last time, and specifically from Tripura this entire process is going to begin. And at this moment a lot of as you can see, the massive paraphernalia of the media. Let's just try and listen in to what the Chief Minister is saying at this moment.
लास्ट ईयर जितना मिला है इससे ज्यादा मिला है।
सर, सीपीएम और कांग्रेस पे गठबंधन पे लड़ रहे हैं सर,
इससे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? ये अनहोली अलायंस है, कोई फायदा नहीं होगा इससे।
बट सर, विशालगढ़ में कल रात को बॉम्बिंग हुआ है, सीपीएम एलिगेशन कर रहा है।
आप देखो बॉम्बिंग का कल्चर कौन किया था? सीपीएम कर रहे थे, कांग्रेस कर रहे थे, ये लोग जानबूझ कर ये कर रहे हैं। हम लोगों को मालूम था, और प्रशासन जरूर काम करेंगे। अभी तो माने इलेक्शन कमीशन के अंडर में है, लेकिन हमारा तरफ से हम बार बार हमारा जो कार्यकर्ता इनको हम लोग कह दिए इसमें इंस्टिगेशन में नहीं फंसना, और हम लोग चाहते नहीं। आप जानते हैं उनका कल्चर क्या है, सीपीएम का क्या कल्चर था, कांग्रेस का क्या कल्चर।
मानिक बाबू এই মুহূর্তে আপনার আবেদন কি হবে? আপনার আবেদন কি হবে এই মুহূর্তে? কি আবেদন রাখবেন?
कुछ नहीं होगा, ये सब देखिए 5 साल के बाद हमेशा आता रहता है दूसरा। मेरा तो लाइन करने दो,
वोट करने दो, वोट करने लाइन।
All right, so the Chief Minister there, in fact, exuding confidence and saying that he is going to return to the power. Of course, every political party on the day when the voting starts makes these claim, and the Chief Minister, in fact, is now going inside to cast his vote. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the Maharani Tulsi Bati Girls High School, where the Chief Minister's constituency is, where his polling booth is, and at this moment as we speak he is going inside to cast his vote. Important, in fact, elections and multi-facet election as far as Tripura is concerned. Largely when you look at the Northeast states and elections, because of the the low number of the Lok Sabha seats, not much usually is spoken about them, but very, very important this time, because the BJP, which maximized its gains in most of the northern states, and now is even last time, in fact, in Northeast as well, the BJP had major gains. They would not want to give up on those gains as they look for new bastions to ensure that they in 2024 the party is able to perform better, and having a government in major states in Northeast also gives BJP the impetus. And in Tripura, tribal vote, the tribal factor is very, very important. And we've seen with the President Draupadi Murmu how the Bharatiya Janata Party has been going on harping about the fact that it's the party which gave country the first tribal president from the tribal community. That is something that they are hoping will work in Tripura as well. But as the Chief Minister gets ready to cast his vote, one important factor, Priyanshi, also going to be, this is a very exciting election in Tripura for 2-3 important reasons. One, of course, the arch rivals who had a bloody history between them of political violence, the left and the Congress, have come together. Whether there is going to be a vote transfer that is going to take place between them, that is possibly going to be one very important swing factor. And the other important thing that people are looking at here is Tripura Mota, the party which is being led by Royal Scion Pradyut De Burman, and he, in fact, has gone ahead and with his demand of Greater Tripura land, a separate state as far as the tribals are concerned. 20 out of 60 seats are reserved for the tribal communities, and those seats possibly are going to decide who sits on the throne of Tripura, because in 2018 when the BJP was propelled to power, and it was quite a dramatic rise as far as the BJP is concerned. In 2013 the Bharatiya Janata Party had just a vote share of 1.7%, and in 2018, in just 5 years, they were able to take 1.7% to over 44%. Huge jump as far as the BJP's fortunes were concerned. And that largely was propelled. 36 seats with their allies, 18 came of those 20 seats of the tribal areas. So the Bharatiya Janata Party and their allies were able to do very well in the tribal areas. That's where Tripura Motha, in fact, can throw the spanner in the works as far as the BJP is concerned. So they could possibly end up being the kingmakers. It is going to be a very, very interesting election in that sense as well. Can the BJP consolidate, hold on to the gains of 2018, build on those gains? And on the other hand, can the left in the Congress, left largely, was able to retain its, cadre as far as the vote percentage in 2018, but can the left retain that and of course build on with the Congress, which completely lost base in the 2018 election? That is going to be few of the key important factors that are going to be determining which way does this important battle of Tripura goes, because it kickstarts the election season in 2023. There are 2 more Northeastern states which are going to poll, and the results of all these 3 states are going to come together, Nagaland and Meghalaya. Other factor here, I mean, though it just seems that the TMC, which is desperately hoping that they do well in this state, but the steam of their campaign seems to have fizzled out, and the entire focus right now for the TMC seems to be that 6% vote share, which helps them make their stake on the national scale as a national party. So quite a few interesting dynamics, Priyanshi, at play here.
Right, of course, Ankit, lots of X factors there, the tribal factor, the TPM factor, then Congress and left, the arch rivals coming together for a change, and the new party emerging, the TPM. We'll, of course, look out for that very interesting contest. But as we just heard, the Chief Minister is very confident of the BJP regaining the power in Tripura. Let's just listen in to what the Chief Minister said while exclusively speaking to my colleague Ratnadeep Chaudhary.
Polling in Tripura has started, and joining us now exclusive on NDTV is Tripura Chief Minister Dr. Manik Shah. You are all set to go out to cast your vote. What is your expectation today?
My expectation is what I already have mentioned several times, that we will win and we will get more than seats in comparison to the last 2018 इलेक्शन वर्डिक्ट।
और अगर इस चुनाव की बात करें तो इस चुनाव में आज सुबह से मतदान शुरू हो गया है। हमने देखा है कतारों में लोग खड़े हैं, बहुत एक्साइटमेंट है लोगों के बीच। कहीं कहीं पे शंका थी कि फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन होगा कि नहीं, पीसफुल इलेक्शन होंगे कि नहीं। आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं वोटर्स को?
फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन होना चाहिए, ये क्योंकि डेमोक्रेसी में ये मस्ट है। और मेरे तरफ से और मेरा गवर्नमेंट या पार्टी, हमारे तरफ से हमेशा ये कोशिश रहा, क्योंकि इतना दिन यहाँ पर 2018 के पहले जो राज था कम्युनिस्ट का और कांग्रेस बीच में, इन लोग के टाइम में ये फ्री फेयर इलेक्शन नहीं होता था। बहुत मुश्किल से 2018 में इलेक्शन हुआ और कम्युनिस्ट का हटा के भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सरकार यहाँ बने, और ये सिर्फ हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी उनके कारण ही ये संभव हुआ।
और हमने आपके कैंपेन देखा, आपने डोर टू डोर कैंपेन किया, पूरे राज्य में कैंपेन किया, प्रधानमंत्री 3 बार आए, आपकी पूरी जो बीजेपी की इलेक्शन मशीनरी, टॉप लीडर्स यहाँ पे थे। त्रिपुरा बहुत क्रूशल है। 2018 में आप जीते त्रिपुरा, कुछ महीने पहले आप मुख्यमंत्री बने, मुख्यमंत्री बदलना पड़ा। कुछ कुछ जगह में थोड़ी एंटी इनकम्बेंसी की बात होती है, कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा जल्दी एंटी इनकम्बेंसी की बात नहीं आ गई सर?
देखिए, एंटी इनकम्बेंसी कोई भी सरकार रहने के बाद, क्योंकि ये नॉर्मल फेनोमेना है, लेकिन त्रिपुरा में अभी कोई एंटी इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है त्रिपुरा गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट में, इसीलिए हम लोग का जीत बहुत आसान हो गया।
कांग्रेस और लेफ्ट ये कह रही है कि पिछली बार तो कांग्रेस के वोट बीजेपी में शिफ्ट हो गए, इसलिए बीजेपी सरकार बना पाई, जीत पाई। इस बार हमने गठजोड़ बना लिया है, तो बीजेपी का जीतना मुश्किल है। क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए, ये कांग्रेस का कुछ गिने चुने कुछ लीडर्स है, ये लोग अपना बेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट के लिए सब बोलते रहते हैं, करते भी रहते हैं। हमारा पार्टी में भी आए थे। इससे कांग्रेस फॉलोअर जो है ये तो बीजेपी के साथ ही है। और अब देखिए, ये हमेशा इस तरह कुछ ना कुछ उल्टा काम करते रहते हैं ये लोग। तो इनका अगर हिम्मत होता तो अकेले ही लड़ सकते थे। तो सीपीएम का हाथ अभी हाथ लेना पड़ा इन लोगों को। तो इससे ये फ्रस्ट्रेशन से हुआ, इससे कन्फर्म है ये ऑलरेडी ये हारने का मूड में ही है और खाली मुंह से बोलते हैं जीतेगा जीतेगा, और बाकी कुछ नहीं है।
आपकी उम्मीद, आपके प्रेडिक्शंस?
प्रेडिक्शन तो मैंने बोल दिया। 2018 में हम लोग को 36 सीट मिला है और हमारे अलायंस पार्टनर को 8, तो इस बार इससे ज़्यादा मिलेगा।
और हर कोई चीफ मिनिस्टर जब मतदान देने जाता है एक अपने अपने रिचुअल्स फॉलो करते हैं। आज सुबह कुछ स्पेशल कुछ, या फिर आपका जो नॉर्मल रूटीन था वही करके आप बाहर निकल रहे हैं?
देखिए, जब नॉमिनेशन सबमिट करने हम गए थे तब तो पूरा सभी मंदिर में हम गए थे। आज तो वोट देने जा रहा हूँ, तो अभी घर में पूजा किया, पूजा करने के बाद अभी जा रहा हूँ पोलिंग स्टेशन।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने को।
थैंक यू।
So as you heard there, the BJP really confident of regaining power in Tripura, and Ratnadeep and Ankit both joining us live from Agartala now, the state capital. And Ratnadeep, if I can come across to you now, lots of early risers that we are seeing there who have come out to vote. What is the sense that you're getting from voters? What are the key issues emerging in these elections?
That's right, a lot of early risers. In fact, right from 6 o'clock, I did see people coming out of their homes to stand in the queue, and people have been talking about development. They want that peace. There should be peace in this state. They're happy that there is no poll violence reported in the run up to the polls, and then they want a peaceful poll day. Although at this moment I am at the Maharani Tulsivati school polling center where the chief minister is going to cast his vote, and you can see there is a complete media presence here, media frenzy, to be very honest, and therefore you will see more media persons than even voters. But amid this chaos, we'll try to talk to some voters here who are going to cast their vote in this center where the chief minister is coming to cast his vote. You can see here there are voters here who have lined up. आपसे बात करने की कोशिश करते हैं भाई साहब। बहुत सुबह आ गए हैं वोट देने के लिए, चीफ मिनिस्टर वोट देने के लिए आ रहे हैं। कैसा माहौल, कैसा लग रहा है?
अच्छा लग रहा है बहुत। इट्स ए गुड फीलिंग दैट गिविंग वोट विद द सीएम एट द सेम टाइम।
वोट विद द सीएम इन द सेम टाइम। और इस बार जो चुनाव है त्रिपुरा में, ये चुनाव त्रिपुरा के लोगों के लिए महत्वपूर्ण तो है
ऑब्वियसली,
मगर क्या क्या मुद्दे आपके लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण हैं?
एवरीथिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट, रोड, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, वाटर, एवरीथिंग इज इम्पोर्टेंट।
त्रिपुरा की बात करें, if you talk about Tripura, 25 years of left, and then there was a change in 2018.
Totally different. There is a lot of changes.
Okay. तो ये एक रिएक्शन था लोगों का कि बहुत डिफरेंसेस हुए हैं, बहुत चेंजेस आए हैं. So there you see, the mood really building up. Although here only very few voters are being allowed now because the chief minister will come and cast his vote in this polling station. Like this, there are 3,327 polling stations here in the state. In fact, the chief minister is making his way in to the polling station. I'll ask my camera person to stay on the shot of the chief minister making his way inside the polling station to cast his vote. Dr. Manik Saha, he became chief minister only a couple of months back, a renowned dental surgeon turned politician. He is the new face of BJP in Tripura after the national leadership decided to drop Biplab Deb as the chief minister, and the new chief minister has led the campaign. He is the poster boy for the BJP's campaign in Tripura. And what essentially this election means for BJP is that with Tripura, the long road to 9 state elections before the 2024 big elections is going to take place, and Therefore, BJP, which is often seen as an election winning machine, would like to keep their victory run on, and they would like to begin their march towards the 2024 big general elections from Tripura, from the periphery of the country to the national capital. This place where I am reporting from is in the heart of Tripura, and mind it, this is just 5 kilometers away from the international border from Bangladesh. So the road to 2024 has begun today from the eastern periphery of the country.
Right, so the road to 2024 has begun for sure. Ratnadi, thanks very much for joining us and getting us a sense of what the voters are feeling. As we earlier also heard, the voters were talking about the political violence in the state and the intimidation that they've seen in the last few years. Ever since 2018, those cases were really emerging. But let's just now understand the politics and what's in it for the BJP. Ankit is joining us from Agartala as well. And Ankit, the TMP, which is emerging as the new front this time, could that take away the tribal votes of the BJP? As you were mentioning, half of the BJP's winning seats were from tribal areas in the 2018 elections, and the tribal factor is really strong in Tripura. 32% of the state's population is from the tribal areas. The Tripura Motha party won the tribal council polls, and that defeated the ruling BJP-IPFT alliance. So that gives sort of a signal that the BJP's tribal force might be sliding away to the Tripura Motha party this time.
You know, that is very interesting. That will be very interesting to see, and that possibly could be one of the deciding factors as far as this election is concerned. The tribal vote, as you said, that Tripura Motha is buoyed by the fact that they got a huge, in fact, support as far as the tribal council elections are concerned. But who are the leaders, and on what ground is the Tripura Motha party standing on? It is largely the cadre and the leaders of the IPFT, the ally of the BJP, which propelled the Bharatiya Janata Party in the tribal areas in 2018. Most of them have deserted them and are now with the Royal Sign-led party, Tripura Motha. Now, important here, of course, there are 20 seats which are reserved, but there are still, apart from that, there are a few other seats, about 5 to 6 seats where tribal have significant votes as well. So it's just not only the 20 seats, but about, let's say, 25 seats which will largely which will decide this election. And when we talk, about the whole tribal factor, remember, traditionally, the tribal vote used to be a left bastion in the southern Tripura, and the tribal areas used to be the bastion of the left parties. The IPFT rose on the promise of a separate state at that time as well. A similar thing is now being repeated as far as the Tripura Motha is concerned, the Greater Tripura land. But practically, how it can be done, because the whole concept of the Tripura land, the Greater Tripura land, is just not about these areas in Tripura, but also few areas of Mizoram. Then they are also talking about few areas from Bangladesh as well. So that it's a larger picture that Pradyut Manikade Burman is trying to paint. But on the ground, there is some sort of humbleness and acceptance that largely the whole game, and that's what the BJP, even the left front, has in fact announced, that they are ready to give greater autonomy, more powers, budgetary powers as far as the tribal council is concerned. But a greater Tripura land in those sense does not work. Also, what will be interesting to see, the Bharatiya Janata Party, what they have done in the last 5 years, the whole Labharti politics, the development politics of trying to reach out to the women, the free ration and electricity in the tribal areas. They are hoping that there will be a division as far as the tribal vote is concerned. It won't fall as one entity. The women would be able to see what the BJP hopes, that the work that they have done, because largely massively popular, huge rallies that we saw in the run-up to the election of Pradyut Burman, largely, in fact, massive following as far as the men are concerned. Can that division take place, and will that be significant? That will also be interesting to see. And for the left and the Congress alliance to do well, they would also need some sort of ground back in these tribal areas. The left has concentrated largely in those areas. Again, whether they are able to consolidate or bring that kind of a maneuver, that will be interesting. One very important thing that I want to tell you, Priyanshi. In fact, Pradyut Barman, everybody knows that his closeness as far as Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Chief Minister of Assam, is concerned. He was even in talks with the Chief Minister. He said that any party that gives me in writing that there is going to be a separate Tripura land, he will go ahead and support them. The fact is that nobody can do that on paper, and that is why he is weighing his options. If the Tripura, Motha party, if they are able to get a significant number of votes, let's say about 10 to 12 seats as far as this election is concerned, then he will have a real bargaining power. And the more seats that the Tripura Motha gets, largely that will tell you that this is going to be a hung assembly because, in many areas, the left vote has retained. Whether the BJP is able to break that stronghold, consolidate or save what they had in 2018, those things are going to be extremely, extremely crucial to look at. But one rider here, Tripura Motha, which is fighting for about 44 seats, not just 20 of the tribal areas, they have extended support to one candidate of the Jot, the left and the Congress in Agartala. Is that an indication as far as the former, Congressman Royal Sign Pradyut Barman is concerned of which way he is going to go, or will he weigh his options once the entire storyboard for this election has been written? That is going to be very, very interesting on who takes oath in Tripura.
Right, of course, Ankit. Lots of interesting equations to watch out for there as we focused on the Tripura Motha party there with their promise of the greater Tripura land. So that promise, we'll have to see whether that works for the Royal Sion. Now, on the other hand, the state's arch rivals are coming together. The Congress and the left have come together to defeat the BJP. We'll see whether that works out for them. So lots of interesting equations emerging in the Tripura elections, which of course are the first in the 9 states going to polls ahead of the 2024 election. So it'll be interesting contest to watch out for. We'll keep getting you the details of what the voters feel, what the politics looks like, and how this contest is like no other. Stay tuned for that and a whole lot more on the other side of this very short break. Welcome back. Now, the post-mortem reports are out in the death case of the 25-year-old Haryana woman Nikki Yadav, who was allegedly strangled to death by her boyfriend with a charging cable, and her body was stuffed in a freezer. Now, the post-mortem reports have revealed that her death occurred due to suffocation. My colleague Vedant now joining us for more details on this. Vedant, what are the other details emerging out of the post-mortem reports?
Priyanshi, the entire post-mortem report will be out police sources. However, sources have informed us that the most important part of the post-mortem report is the fact that strangulation marks were found on her neck. So that, in a sense, confirms the fact that she was strangled to death. Initially, remember, the police said that Nikki Yadav's boyfriend, Sahil Gehlot, her live-in partner, strangled her to death using a data cable inside the car. That's what the police had said. And after the post-mortem, this was confirmed. We're also being told by police sources that the possibility of any internal injuries or internal wounds, that has been ruled out so far. And the real, important factor that's emerged from the post-mortem report is that she was strangled to death, and that little detail is very important as far as the conviction of the accused is concerned in this particular case. So remember, yesterday, the post-mortem went on for nearly 3 to 4 hours, and after that, her cremation was also held in her native place in Jhajjar in Haryana. And now, of course, after the police have gotten custody of the accused, custody of Sahil Gehlot for 5 days, the family of the victim continues to say that they want the harshest, the strictest punishment for the accused. In fact, they've been demanding lifetime imprisonment for the accused. That is something that the family has been saying. Now, the police have 5 days of Sahil's custody, and crucial aspects of the investigation are pending. Remember, as of now, there's just circumstantial evidence because, like in the Shraddha murder case, in this case as well, the accused has confessed to the crime. In fact, the accused himself led the police to the body and helped the police recover the body from that refrigerator where he had allegedly stuffed the body. So now the police are aiming to find crucial forensic evidence. In fact, in the post-mortem, what we're also being told is that her DNA, the victim's DNA, has also been preserved to make sure that it matches with her father's DNA that was also collected yesterday. So the coming 4 days are going to be crucial as far as the investigation is concerned. Key forensic evidence like her DNA, of course, and also other evidence like mobile phones, etc., will also be examined. The police are also trying to make sure that they get some CCTV footage on that route as well, from where Sahil allegedly killed his girlfriend and then to the place where he stuffed the body inside a refrigerator. But of course, it's a gruesome case from preliminary information and has really sent shockwaves across the country.
Right, Vedant, and as those preliminary details coming out from the post-mortem reports confirm, as you said, the fact that she was strangled to death, those marks really confirm and support the allegation that she was strangled to death using a data cable. Now, Vedant also spoke to the father of the victim, Nikki Yadav, and she was cremated last night. The father says that he demands justice. Listen in.
The alleged murder of a girlfriend, a shocking plot to hide the body, and a wedding with another woman. All in just 24 hours. The victim, 23-year-old Nikki Yadav, strangled to death, allegedly by her live-in partner Sahil Gehlot, a 24-year-old pharma graduate. Sahil's family had fixed his marriage with another woman, and Nikki, his girlfriend, did not know. When she did find out, there was a heated argument, which ended in a strangulation with a data cable inside a car. Just like the infamous Shraddha Walkar case, accused Sahil stuffed the body of the victim inside a refrigerator at his dhaba in Haryana's Jhajjar. Then he went to his parents' house barely 700 meters from where he hid the body and got married. A local who knew about his girlfriend reported her missing to the police, and they came looking for Sahil at his parents' house.
अगर ये शादी करने के बाद ये इस बॉडी को डिस्पोज कर देता तो बाद में बहुत दिक्कत आ जाती. तो जो टाइमिंग था वो बहुत ही परफेक्ट था कि जो हमने इसको टाइमली इसको डिटेक्ट कर लिया. तो हमारी टीम ने बहुत समय से इसको जो मेन साक्ष्य था बॉडी को रिकवर कर लिया वहाँ से फ्रिज की इसकी निशानदेही पे. वो अकेला ही बहुत बड़ा साक्ष्य है जो कि इनको कन्विक्शन करने में, सज़ा दिलवाने में काफ़ी मददगार होगा. उसके अलावा भी जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन की जो तमाम बारीकियां होती हैं उस पे हमारी टीम काम कर रही है.
The accused, who like Aftab Poonawalla confessed to his crime, is now in police custody, and his hours-old bride, who was unaware of Sahil's girlfriend, has gone back to her parents' house. Nikki was cremated less than 24 hours after the body was discovered. Anguished and outraged, Nikki's family has demanded the strictest punishment for their daughter's killer.
जिस आदमी ने मेरी बेटी को इसे निर्मम हत्या करके मारा है उसकी सजाए मौत होनी चाहिए.
This is the dhaba where accused Sahil brought the body of his 24-year-old partner after allegedly strangling her to death. It's an absolutely gruesome case. The police say that he stuffed the body inside a refrigerator. The larger story here, however, is how 20-something-year-old girls are losing their lives to absolutely brutal crimes. These are mostly girls from small towns living in Delhi, away from their families. As more such cases come to light, questions are being raised as to what is being done to ensure their security in the national capital. This, as Delhi continues to top the list of most unsafe cities for women. In New Delhi with camera person Sushil Rathi, Vedant for NDTV. The alleged murder of 24-year-old Nikki Yadav has really shaken the conscience of the entire nation. Many are calling this the rerun of the Shraddha murder case. But the fact of the matter is that a 20-something-year-old girl who had her life ahead of her, her dreams all got shattered. She lost her life because of the brutality of one man. I'm joined by the victim's father, Sunil Kumar Yadav ji, and his elder brother as well, who's stood behind the family as a pillar of support. सर, सबसे पहले मैं दिल से आपसे बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ कि आपने इस पल में हमसे बातचीत करना मुनासिब समझा, और बहुत माफ़ी के साथ आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ कि इससे मुश्किल वक्त कोई पिता के लिए नहीं हो सकता बात करने के लिए। इस पल और सब चीज़ें भूलकर कैसे याद करना चाहेंगे निक्की को?
इस बारे में मैं कुछ नहीं बता पाऊंगा आपको।
हमारे जरिए कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे आप, जो लोग आपको देख रहे हैं, कुछ भी?
मैं यही बोलना चाहूँगा, मेरी बेटी को जिसने मारा है उसको कानून सजाए फांसी दे।
जी। और बहुत सी चीज़ें, बहुत से लोग कह रहे हैं वो उसको एक विक्टिम की तरह सब लोग याद करेंगे, लेकिन क्या ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जो आप समझ रहे हैं जो गलत हैं, जो गलत चीज़ें बताई जा रही हैं मीडिया के द्वारा या फिर तमाम रिपोर्ट्स के द्वारा? आप क्या सच्चाई है आपके हिसाब से जो आप चाहते हैं कि लोग सुने, निकी के बारे में भी और इस केस के बारे में भी? क्या वो सच्चाई है जो आप चाहते हैं कि लोग सुने?
मेरी बेटी गलगोटी यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ती थी, एमए इंग्लिश ऑनर से एमए फाइनल ईयर था उसका जी। 4 साल से वो उधर ही हॉस्टल में थी गलगोटिया में, और अभी 8 महीने से वो उत्तम नगर में, एक छोटी बेटी भी है मेरी, वो एमकॉम कर रही है, वो दोनों एक ही रूम में लेके एक ही रूम में रह रही थी जी। हमें इस बारे में कुछ नहीं पता वो लिव इन में रह रहे थे, क्या रह रहे थे, ये सब झूठ बोली जा रही है जी। हमारे को किसी पूरे परिवार को किसी को इस बारे में कोई नहीं पता कि लिव इन में रह रही थी या कुछ भी रह रही थी जी। ये सब झूठ बोली जा रही है।
और मेरे ख्याल है एक आपकी रेगुलर बातचीत भी होती होगी, कभी इस चीज़ का जिक्र किया या कभी
कोई जिक्र नहीं हुआ। उसकी मम्मी की तो शाम को हर रोज़ बात होती थी उससे।
कभी ऐसा जिक्र नहीं किया कि कोई इस तरीके का इंसान है?
नहीं, कभी ऐसा। छोटे वाली लड़की को भी कुछ नहीं पता और उसकी मम्मी को भी ऐसे कभी कोई महसूस नहीं हुआ
जी। और थोड़ा बस आखिरी सवाल, मैं आपको ज़्यादा समय नहीं लूँगा, बस आखिरी सवाल ही बताइए कि सब लोग उसको एक इस केस की विक्टिम की तरह याद करेंगे, लेकिन उसके थोड़ा बताइए कि उसके क्या सपने थे? उसने बचपन में बहुत मेहनत करी होगी, पढ़ रही थी, आपने बताया जैसे कि एमए फाइनल ईयर में थी, तो क्या सपने थे उसके, क्या बनना चाहती थी?
एमए फाइनल प्रोफेसर बनना चाहती हूँ गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज में।
प्रोफेसर बनना चाहती थी?
हाँ जी।
आप भी सर पूरी फैमिली के साथ इस मोमेंट पर, ही इज़ एल्डर ब्रदर ऑफ द विक्टिम्स फादर, आप भी पिलर ऑफ सपोर्ट की तरह खड़े रहे हैं फैमिली के लिए भी इस पूरे, हमने क्रिमेशन में भी देखा लगातार आप साथ दे रहे थे। आप बताइए सर कि कैसे आज याद करना चाहेंगे निक्की को? सबसे पहला सवाल ये, और दूसरा क्या मांग है आपकी पुलिस से, दिल्ली पुलिस से, सरकार से, क्या मांग है आपकी?
याद तो क्या करना, याद हमारी इंटेलिजेंट बच्ची थी, बहुत कुछ करना चाहती थी, और ऐसे बीच में जिसने मर्डर किया है उसको फांसी की सज़ा होनी चाहिए। और सभी कह रहे हैं लड़कियों को पढ़ाओ, ये करो, वो करो, सेफ्टी कुछ है नहीं, ऐसे मर्डर कर दिया, कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा, ना पुलिस वाले कुछ कर रहे, उल्टा चला रहे हैं कि भी 4 साल से रिलेशनशिप में रह रही थी, झूठी अफवाह है सब, दोनों बहनें रह रही थी साथ साथ, और ये तो बेकार की बातें हैं, उसमें रह रही, रिलेशनशिप में रह रही थी, वो रह रही थी, इंटेलिजेंट बेटी थी, उसका मर्डर होना जो है वो गलत बात है।
So of course the family absolutely shattered. A 20-something-year-old girl who had many dreams, as her father was also just telling us that she wanted to be a professor in a government college. All of those dreams shattered. Another girl has lost her life to an absolutely brutal crime. In Jajjar with camera person Gauri Prasad, Vedant for NDTV.
Now moving to news from Tamil Nadu, a 29-year-old soldier was killed after he was allegedly attacked by a DMK councillor in Tamil Nadu's Krishnagiri district. Now the soldier named Prabhu served in Jammu and Kashmir, and the police said that there was an argument between the soldier and the DMK councillor over washing clothes at a public tank. The DMK councillor's name is Chinnasamy, and the soldier's brother Prabhakaran was also injured in the attack according to the police. Now later the argument escalated into a full brutal attack with more men joining the DMK councillor in thrashing the two brothers on February 8th. Now, Prabhu was admitted to a hospital where he died last night, and 9, including the DMK councillor, have now been arrested. My colleague Sam gets us more details.
A 29-year-old soldier serving the army in Kashmir died after he was allegedly attacked by a DMK councillor in the Krishnagiri district of Tamil Nadu. Police say it all began as an argument after the local councillor, Chinnaswamy from the DMK, had allegedly picked up a quarrel with the soldier's family for allegedly washing clothes at the public tank in that village. Hours later, he again went to their house, and that had turned into a scuffle, at which point many others joined the attack. The injured soldier was immediately shifted to a private hospital where he died 6 days later. Police have now booked a case of murder, have arrested a total of 9 men, including this DMK councillor, although originally, the day after the attack, they had arrested only 6 men, saying this DMK councillor was absconding. In fact, these two siblings, both soldiers, had come for vacation as part of the Pongal holidays, and this tragedy has happened around this time. There's a pile of gloom at that village, and the state BJP chief Annamalai has slammed the ruling DMK, saying even army personnel don't feel safe in their own hometowns. BJP has also called for a protest across Tamil Nadu at collectorates led by ex-servicemen of the party. The ruling DMK is yet to respond, but party sources say while law will take its course, the party is also expected to issue a statement today taking action against this particular DMK councillor. With Erode East bypoll round the corner, this issue is also expected to become a talking point during campaigns here. In Chennai, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Now, the Income Tax Department will continue its so-called survey at the BBC office in the national capital for the 3rd straight day today, while various media organizations have condemned the IT department's action, questioning the timing. Given that the action comes just days after the BBC released a docu-series on the 2002 Gujarat riots and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's role, a docu-series that was later banned by the government. While the survey will continue for the 3rd day as well, take a look at what all happened on the 2nd day.
Indian tax officials at BBC's Delhi offices for the 2nd day, continuing with what they call a survey. Sources in the agency say the BBC has refused to cooperate with information that had been sought for nearly a year relating to transfer pricing and sharing of profits.
इनकम टैक्स विभाग समय समय पर जहां पर अनियमितताएं पाई जाती हैं वहां पर सर्वेस करता है और जब ये सर्वे का काम पूरा होता है तब वो अपना एक प्रेस नोट या प्रेस ब्रीफिंग करके जानकारी देते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है जब ये इनकम टैक्स विभाग का सर्वे पूरा होगा वो जानकारी पूरी आपको डिटेल में दे देंगे।
The opposition has accused the centre of political vendetta, coming as it does weeks after a BBC documentary on Prime Minister Modi, which the government sought to ban.
I don't believe this, that because BBC is doing something against of this government, and that's why just next day they started their operation like this. This is a political vendetta. BJP is running the government through this vendetta only.
तो अब जो इन्होंने कल किया है, हमें चिंता देश की छवि की है. We are not a banana republic, and we'll never be.
In its first remarks, the US government said it can't offer judgment in this case, but underscored the importance of a free press to strengthen democracy.
We are aware of the fact of these searches, but I'm just not in a position to offer a judgment. We support the importance of free press around the world as human rights that contribute to strengthening democracies around the world. It has strengthened this democracy here in this country. It has strengthened India's democracy.
Press organizations have condemned the raids as harassment of the media, a clear-cut case of vendetta. And the Editors Guild of India says the trend of using government agencies to harass the press undermines constitutional democracy.
BBC has asked its employees not to answer questions related to their income tax, and also requested their employees to refrain from making any comments to the media and write anything on social media regarding the ongoing income tax survey. In New Delhi with Sunil Prabhu and Mohammad Musaleen, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
Now moving on, the Kuno National Park is all set to welcome 12 semi-adult and adult wild cheetahs from South Africa on February 18th as part of the Narendra Modi government's mission to reintroduce the fastest moving animal in the wilds of India. Here's a report by my colleague Anurag.
These enclosures at the Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh will be the home to 12 satellite-collared wild cheetahs from South Africa, who are being flown in from Johannesburg to Gwalior in an Indian Air Force cargo aircraft. With the arrival of the 12 South African cheetahs, Kuno will be home to 20 African cheetahs, including the 8 Namibian cheetahs that were flown there on PM Modi's birthday last year. The first cheetahs in India after they were declared extinct in 1952.
तैयारियां तो हमारी उसके लिए जो क्वारंटाइन बोमा जिसमें ये सबसे पहले ला करके रखना है, हमने 8 और 10 क्वारंटाइन बोमा तैयार करके रखे हुए हैं। जोहान्सबर्ग से लेकर के आना है और 18 तारीख को यहाँ पहुँचने का जो कार्यक्रम मिला हुआ है।
Government sources say the Kuno National Park is also ready with arrangements to release 5 of the 8 Namibian cheetahs from the bigger enclosures into the wild. A cheetah safari for tourists is also on the cards.
देखिए, मध्य प्रदेश इस समय टाइगर स्टेट है, लेपर्ड स्टेट है, बल्चर स्टेट है और अब चीता स्टेट भी है। फरवरी में संभावना है, क्योंकि अब बड़े बाड़े में छोड़ें, इसके बाद खुले में उनको छोड़ेंगे, पूरी तरह से स्वस्थ और प्रसन्न है।
But this female cheetah, Sasha, who is recovering from a liver-kidney infection, will have to wait for her turn to be released into the wild. A key difference between 8 Namibian cheetahs flown in at Kuno on 17th September and 12 South African cheetahs arriving on February 18th is that while all the South African cheetahs are wild cheetahs, few of the cheetahs flown from Namibia were bred in captivity in Namibia, and that's why they took more time to acclimatize with the wild. In Bhopal, with camera person Rizwan Khan and Ajay Anuragdwari for NDTV.
Welcome back. Let's now get you some international news. Nearly 2,000 residents have been evacuated from Ohio in the United States as a train carrying toxic chemicals derailed. Now on February 3rd, about 50 cars of Norfolk Southern train went off track in Ohio, causing a days-long fire in the area. Now 10 of the 50 derailed cars contained hazardous chemicals, which were among combustible liquids that authorities feared could set off a major explosion. Now on Monday, the crews conducted what officials called a controlled release of the hazardous chemicals, which caused a large plume of black smoke, as you can see in those visuals.
What we have discovered through the testing and sampling that's been done is that very early on, we have estimated based on our sampling and modeling about 3,500 dead fish across that space, across those streams, tributaries, waterways.
Now, after New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern resigned, Nicola Sturgeon announced her resignation as the First Minister of Scotland. Now, this comes after months of controversy over a law that makes it simpler for people to change their gender in official documents. Now, in her speech after resignation, she said that she was privileged beyond measure to undertake the role, but she admitted that the time was right to resign. She also added that there was much more intensity and brutality to the life of a politician than there was in the previous years. Listen in.
Inspired me. And the nature and form of modern political discourse means that there is a much greater intensity, dare I say it, brutality to life as a politician than in years gone by. All in all, and actually for a long time without it being apparent, it takes its toll on you and on those around you. And if that is true in the best of times, it has been more so in recent years. Leading this country through the COVID pandemic is by far the toughest thing I've done. It may well be the toughest thing I ever do. I certainly hope so. Now, by no stretch of the imagination was my job the hardest in the country during that time. But the weight of responsibility was immense, And it's only very recently, I think, that I've started to comprehend, let alone process, the physical and mental impact of it on me.
Now to sports news, and it's a big moment for budding female cricketers as Ravi Shastri's Coaching Beyond has tied up with Hindustan Unilever to announce 50 scholarships to nurture and support women cricket talent at the grassroots.
A big moment for budding cricketers like Akanksha. Ravi Shastri's Coaching Beyond has tied up with Hindustan Unilever to announce 50 scholarships to nurture and support women cricket talent at the grassroots.
I think it's going to give an opportunity to young girls at the grassroots level to improve what they want to do, to aspire, to believe, to achieve. And I believe it's not far off from where women's cricket is going to become that big.
Successful coaching trio, Ravi Shastri, R. Sridhar and Bharat Arun believe it is take-off time for women's cricket.
Today we have a great platform. It is just like what HUL want to give back to society. We said we want to leave a legacy in coaching.
The short list of 25 girls for each venue, that is 25 for Hyderabad, which consists of the girls from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and 25 girls from the state of Tamil Nadu will be selected, and they will undergo the 3-year junior athlete development program.
The announcement has evoked much excitement among aspiring cricketers.
If we get selected, it's gonna be a great opportunity for us to play more matches and get a good quality of coaching.
Yeah, it's a very good opportunity for all the youngsters all over India. Like most of the girls are not interested in cricket, but like after this program I feel that all of them will get interest in the cricket.
Hindustan Unilever says choosing women's cricket was a logical choice for them.
The team at Coaching Beyond has the required infrastructure, the expertise to do a really good job at this. So therefore we will scale up as the Coaching Beyond team scales up.
A 360-degree kind of coverage for these young girls who can come in from anywhere, and they would be selected on the basis of criteria that the Coaching Beyond has in fact devised and said 25 from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh and 25 others from Tamil Nadu. The review happens every 6 months. It's for a period of 3 years that they have initially announced. In Hyderabad with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.